How are we doing this, Martin from Gans for Life? It is mid-November now. The Jerusalem artichokes are usually first to die back in the frost. I think they're more photosensitive rather than wait for the frost. A lot of our ancient edible tubers will continue on growing until they actually get knocked back by the frost. For example, oka and mashua and the yakon as well. But Jerusalem artichokes, as you can see, these have definitely receded into the ground. So you can see here, they have retreated into the ground for the winter, and there'll be tubers just like potatoes under the ground. And there's already a fella here cutting them back so we can get access to them. Say something in the camera.
I like cutting, do some artichokes.
Good man, keep going. For some of them you'd want a branch cutter. Look at the thickness of them. They're literally like an inch thick, but they're hollow in the middle. You can see here the insects actually love living in those over the winter. They burrow a hole in the stalk and then they just overwinter in them. So that's why we use Jerusalem artichoke stalks as insect pile material. It's really good for that. So there is two different varieties here. There is Fusao Red and there is White Truffles. That's these ones here. So let's dig up some of them. Let's see what we can find. You can see the rest of the garden. It's not quite as green as it used to be. I want to show you this really quick. You can see how the frost we had over the last couple of nights. It's very late frost actually. Very late first frost, I should say. You can see how the leaves have actually kind of taken damage now. Probably burst the cell walls, especially when the sun was hitting them, which is the easterly sun here. Usually when the leaves are frozen, or same as blossoms on fruit trees too, when they're frozen and then the sun actually hits them in the morning, that can damage them. So yeah, we'll be digging them up now soon. You can see here that's what a leaf is supposed to look like, but when it looks like that, it's finished anyway. A few yakon plants here. Let's get on with the Jerusalem artichokes. Best thing you can do is when you see these stalks here, you sort of cut them back to about a foot off the ground. Just take some amount of power to cut them back, even with a secateurs. You'd want a branch cutter for some of them, as I said. And then when you have them like that, it's really difficult to pull them up. I can't even pull that up. There must be a bunch of tubers under the ground here. So we're just going to lift that up with a shovel. Carefully, we're going to layer carefully going underneath here and then try to lift the whole plant up in one go. So let's get a shovel. So we'll try not to pierce too many tubers. We'll try and get well in behind the plant. Look at all these weeds here. They were kind of growing at the edge here of the garden bed. But they're no harm, they're only superficially rooted. Take a look at how many tubers there's here. Jesus. Some of them get quite big too. That's actually White Truffle is the variety. They do grow in clumps like that. Oh, geez, that's not bad. It's definitely a couple of kilos, maybe 3 or 4 kilos. It's not bad for one plant, and I haven't even dug down yet. There's probably a few more down below. You can see it's a White Truffle is actually a variety that's not that knobbly, so they're actually easy to cook and prepare. If they're freshly harvested, I wouldn't bother peeling them. But if you stored them over the winter in an artificial environment and they're gone very dry, the skin might be a bit toughened. You definitely need to cure Jerusalem artichokes, which means put them on a windowsill for a couple of weeks before you eat them to break down the inulin. Oh, that's white truffle, so we'll put those in a crate now. You can see that's only a square foot literally that we've harvested so far, and you can see how many more there's here. Believe it or not, actually this is the second year now and we haven't even replanted them last winter. We just basically left a few in the ground and it just regrows. The Jerusalem artichokes are really good at regrowing, so if you're looking for a perennial vegetable that you can harvest but you don't have to, you can just leave it there for a few years and it'll continue on growing. There you go now. That's a half a crate full and probably maybe less than a square meter harvested so far. Bear in mind that this was actually towards the south facing side of the bed, so may not get as good a yield from the very back, but generally speaking the yield is quite good throughout one of these Jerusalem artichoke patches. So let's dig up a different variety now. That's the white truffle. I believe we have found it now. Look, take a look. That's red fuzzal. A bit more pink than red. So let's dig up some of them. You can pull them up occasionally if the plant's not too big. That's a nice harvest even from a small little plant. Just at the edge here. There's a few grade mullen plants here that have self-seeded. And we won't be digging them up, we'll keep them because we want them to actually volunteer.
Look. A balloon.
Take a look here. You do get a good few tubers. Take a look at how many tubers you get. And they can get quite big as well. Oh, let's fill up a crate of these too. Or half a crate will do for now. Alright, so I just dug up another few Jerusalem artichokes and look at that. It's probably like a 20 kilo crate and it's two different varieties. We have about 5 or 6 varieties here and you can imagine quite a bit of food security in a little Jerusalem artichoke patch. Thanks for watching the video, and we're going to give you another update on our tuber harvests in the next few days or next week. So in the meantime, if you'd like to buy some tubers or if you want to get started growing your own ancient edible tubers, just take a look at our website. I'll put a link below, and we do have 4 varieties or 5 varieties of Jerusalem artichokes there. 4 of them actually come in a kind of a mega mix where you get a discount for buying all 4. Don't forget our homesteading workshop days. We do run them every once in a while, probably once or twice a month. Take a look at our website if you're interested in learning more about food preservation, growing your own food, and keeping chickens, herbal remedies, and backup power and lights, and home brewing as well. So don't miss out and learn all these essential skills that we all used to know.